A Messenger in the Dark, Haftarat Parashat Bereshit. I've taken on a complex task this year. Writing an article in the brief window between Simchat Torah and Shabbat Bereshit poses a challenge even in regular years. Add my decision to step out of my comfort zone to the equation, moving from writing about the weekly Torah portion to writing about the Haftarah, and all I can do is pray for the best. Let's start with the framework. In this week's Haftarah, Yeshayahu addresses Hashem's role when facing the world and facing His servant. Among the many topics one could address in the Haftarah is the striking difference between two types of divine actions. First, He's the creator of the heavens, and He who stretches them out, spreads forth the earth and its offsprings, gives breath to the people upon it, and spirit to those who walk therein. On the other hand, He leads the blind by a way that they knew not, the paths that they knew not. In other words, He's both a creator and a guide. This is the time to note that I deliberately skipped one of the central points in the Haftarah. I didn't delve into the identity of Hashem's blind and deaf servant. There are several reasons for this, mainly because the discussion doesn't particularly interest me. I'll only mention that I chose to rely on Rabbi Eliezer Belegzani, who argues that Hashem's servant is the people of Israel. Now back to our topic. I'd like to emphasize that this isn't just an isolated description of Hashem's actions from the Haftarah. In the Haftarah, both these roles, creator and guide, repeat themselves in various ways several times. Even when the opposite occurs, for example, I'll lay waste to the mountains and hills, or who handed Yaakov for spoil and Israel for robbers, was it not Hashem? It's about the creator's choice to destroy and the guide's choice to abandon or humiliate. Despite the clear contrast between the parts of Hashem's different roles from within, creator versus destroyer, guide versus abandoner, I want to examine the relationship between the actual roles. An example of such a role can be, is there an inherent connection between the creator and the guide? If we pose this question to the education system, the apparent answer would be no. The parents create the child and the school guides him. A more traditional family framework would claim that the creator's role in guiding the child goes without saying, you made it, take responsibility. But that's not the point I want to focus on. Instead, I want to look at the strange relationship between Hashem and His servant. Why strange? Since it seems to do the opposite of what might be expected. It's not surprising that the creator is all-powerful and the servant powerless. Anyone familiar with the Bible and the history doesn't fall off their chair when discovering that God's people are blind and deaf, or, in other words, sinful. Sadly, we've grown accustomed to this phenomenon. What is surprising is that the prophet speaks of his messenger's bizarre blindness and the close guidance and salvation he will receive in the same breath. One would expect him to talk of either one or the other, not both simultaneously. To address this difficulty, I want to ask a different question. When Hashem rescues His people, is this a positive or negative event? The answer seems simple at first. Obviously it's positive. What could be better than being rescued by Hashem? Well, here's the thing. If you were to ask me, not needing to be rescued by anyone could be better than being rescued by Hashem. And here I'd like to connect the Haftarah to the parasha. As mentioned in the Haftarah, Hashem created the heavens and earth and all its inhabitants. He did this in our parasha. Into this world, He introduced His messenger, humankind, and defined His mission, to work and protect. Except, it didn't quite work out. Instead of working and protecting, humanity in the parasha causes more damage than help. First, they eat from the tree of knowledge. They commit murder. By the end of the parasha, they lead to a reality where all flesh has corrupted his ways upon the earth. The Creator decides it's time to intervene. No, not through the flood, through saving His servant Noach. Should humanity thank the Creator for rescuing them? Absolutely. Could they have done without this pleasure? In a properly functioning world, yes. In a properly functioning world, humanity would never have reached all flesh has corrupted its ways. The Haftarah describes the messenger, the one whom Hashem held by the hand. He was sent as a covenant to the world, as a light to the nations. He was supposed to open blind eyes, free prisoners from dungeons, and release them from the prison house darkness. It didn't happen. Not only did Hashem's diplomat fail to free the prisoners, he became blind and trapped himself. When Hashem enters with all his glory to save his messenger, the messenger can breathe a sigh of relief. Thank God he's no longer in danger. He will, however, need to undergo retraining before being sent out on a new mission. I hope you enjoyed my initial blind groping in the world of Haftarot and didn't find it necessary to send me for retraining. However, even if I am sent for retraining, I now understand that my guide will be with me and won't leave me alone. In loving memory of my heroic student Amichai Shimon ben Ishai and Bat Yarubin Hashem Yikom Damo, Dovi Holtz, one who loves Tanakh.